Poca, 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 un zidar, doi zidar, amândoi sunește mar. Poca, 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 poca.
Buenos dias, everybody. We're here again with Mateo y Marcos. It takes hours of traveling to hook up with these guys. What's the funniest thing you saw growing up in Eastern Europe that you'd probably not see here in America? Mateo? Mateo is putting a few electrical wires together in a wall.
All right. Funniest thing I ever saw was probably I was about 12, and Pepsi had a promotion going on with the soccer ordeal. They had people's names, soccer players, on the caps, underneath the caps.
The caps of the bottles of Pepsi?
Yes. And it went on for about 2 months. And depending on what you had, if you got four different names, then you got a cheap little radio, so on. A full team, soccer ball, 2 teams, then it was like a duffel bag or something like that. Well, everybody saved up for at least 2 months. And out of this whole city,
What were they saving?
these caps, getting names, trying to save up for a soccer ball, a duffel bag, a T-shirt, just whatever they could get. So some people had hundreds of caps, literally.
Some like trash guys.
Yeah, find them in the trash, anything, where they could find them.
Marcos, you were saying
Yeah, even the trashmen would have the most because they'd go through all the trash and find the bottle caps, so they'd show up with like 2 big bags full of them.
that must have been thousands that they had.
That was ridiculous.
Well, so like I said, this town, Constanța, Romania, population about 600,000. There's only 2 locations in this whole city where they were giving away prizes. One on the beach, and then another one down.
What you're hearing now is Mateo is working with a piece of drywall, reinstalling it.
And one place was on the beach, and then the other was in a bazaar. Well, me and my brother and my friend woke up early in the morning to get out there in time to get our prizes.
And how many caps did you have?
I had around 20 something.
Around 10.
Well, that's
Not many. You know, just having fun. Woke up early, caught the bus to the beach, went out to the beach, nice restaurant. Walked up to the beach. There's about 12 people there. I'd say at least a dozen. It wasn't light yet. It was still dark.
We were some of the first people to show up.
And we start looking around, and we realize that everybody else, these other dozen people, are there too for the prizes. But they have like trash bags full. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of caps. Anyways, you can pause it here. I'm done.
okay, Mateo. Go ahead and backtrack and set up the scene for us and continue your story.
So we arrived on the beach. The sun was just coming over the waters. Nice place. Walkway going out to the restaurant.
You and Marcos were how old?
I was about 12. Mark was 10. Then we were with another boy named Alex Gheorghe. He was about 11. I think he was a year older than Mark. No, he was the same age. Okay, so walkway going up to the restaurant, wooden planks with 4x4s coming out of the sand with a rope as far as like for a handrail. lattice all around the restaurant. Nice place, pretty decent. So we sit down. Like I said, there's probably a dozen other people there, and we realized that all of them had hundreds of caps.
If not thousands.
I wouldn't say thousands. I'd say grocery bags full of Pepsi bottle caps, plastic bottle caps. Well, they were supposed to give away prizes at 11 o'clock. We got there about 6, I'd say. Well, you have to prepare over there. When they're giving away something free, you better be there before anybody else is.
Oh yeah, we got there ridiculously early just so we could have a good spot in line and hope that we could gather our winnings or whatever.
How many people did you expect to be there by the time they had all arrived?
Maybe 50. I thought it would go pretty fast, but it ended up being, Matt will tell you, it was a lot of people. Yeah.
I don't know. I really didn't consider it at the time. Young kid, you don't. But I'll have to remind you what they were giving away. These radios, cheap radios. I mean, I don't even know if the Dollar Tree would sell these radios. I mean, this stuff's cheap. Soccer ball, cheap soccer ball. Looked pretty, but it was cheap. Duffel, everything was junk. I mean, it wasn't like we were getting nice stuff. It was junk. So we waited there till about 9. I believe it was about 9 o'clock. We'd been there about 3 hours, and there started to be a lot of people there, just sitting down at all the tables. Not buying.
What's a lot?
What's a lot? I'd say over 50.
Oh, you mean getting into the restaurant?
Into the restaurant. Now they cook the food inside, and all the seating's outside, under roofs, picnic tables, or I don't think it was picnic tables, just tables with chairs, and then lattice all around this outside porch.
But the people aren't there to buy anything at the restaurant.
They're not buying drinks. They're not buying anything. They're just sitting there waiting for these Pepsi people to come with the prizes. So 9 o'clock, the restaurant finally opened. All the tables are taken up. They're like, well, y'all are going to have to leave. This is just, everybody's going to have to leave. So we all went down, left this restaurant, went down to the Faleza. The Faleza is a big sidewalk. Depending on where you're walking, it can be anywhere from probably 10 feet to 30 feet wide. It's the communist president that was there built a sidewalk that went in Constance, went all the way around the beach, and it never did get completed. But in most places, you have places where it wasn't joined together, but it's pretty nice. It goes all the way around the beach. Anyway, so we went to this sidewalk that's called the Faleza and waited there for I'd say about another hour. And finally, the Pepsi people show up about 10 o'clock, 10:30. And they start setting up at this restaurant. Pretty lady and they set up this little plastic booth that says Pepsi over it. She's got about 4 men with her. And they come with all these bags of prizes that they have, boxes. And they start setting up. And there's probably about 150 of us there right now at this time.
And the thing is they walk up and they only have like 5 bags of prizes, and we're like, are you serious? I hope they have more prizes in their car.
Because they probably had enough prizes for about 200 people. But I mean, you have to remember, there's 12 people in front of us that have bags and bags of caps. So
200, you said prizes for 200 people, but 200 people, that sounds like an awful lot of people.
Well,
you were expecting 200 people who had only, but 200 people who had only a few caps like you did?
yes, exactly. Yes.
And so there's
Enough to get maybe 1 or 2 prizes.
Instead, you see far fewer people, but with huge numbers of caps.
That's true. So they start setting up. They set up. And how they have it arranged is this woman has a clipboard, and she puts your name down and what caps you had and how many prizes you received. Well, everything's going fine, smooth as can be, and all of a sudden, and we probably stood in line for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I was close. I was real close. I mean, I was 2 people behind, and they ran out of soccer balls.